How's it going, class? My name's Mason. Today we're going to be doing our cost operations summary, and basically what this is going to do is we're going to be comparing kind of the same. I'm doing the same exact aircraft from our previous one, going alongside trying to figure out what aircraft is best for our fictitious company. So we're going to dive into that. We're going to look at a whole bunch of different things here, a couple different charts, and kind of just try to hone in trying to figure out what aircraft is best for us. We talked about a whole bunch of different stuff throughout these lessons, so we're just going to continue on with that topic. So just a quick overview here. The aircraft we're going to be comparing as they were last week is the Piper M600, the Phenom 300E, Pilatus PC-12 NGX, and the King Air 260. And the goal today is to figure out which aircraft is going to be the best for our decently large company that's looking to get into the market and get our first private aircraft. And we're going to be trying to minimize costs as much as possible, but we're going to try to maximize storage, speed, and efficiency, and utilizing it to the best of our ability. And just a little thing in here for our fictitious company, we're looking for an aircraft that we can fly around twice per week on average. For different meetings and whatnot. We're going to have a pretty big team, so we're also looking for a decent amount of storage as well. So hopping right in here, this is our utilization comparison chart that we get straight out of the Excel document. As you can see at the bottom there, we have a couple different options. We have our fractional ownership, which we're only going to be able to fly about 50 hours a year. So this one isn't going to be able to work for us because we are trying to fly at least twice a week. And then charter operation, this one could be good, but at the same exact time, you got to look at how many hours per year. As you can see, it kind of meets through the prices of how much it's going to cost through each one at certain points. So you can see, let's say, for example, the King Air 260, that teal line there, it intersects with the charter as far as price at 200 hours. We're probably going to be flying a little bit more than that, if not a lot more. And so charter really isn't going to be great for us as well. As you can see, once charter hits about 360, then all of these aircraft are going to be actually cheaper to maintain and just to buy rather than to charter in general. So now we're going to talk about comparing the costs. So with V4 here, I have a table, and then I also have our chart as well. I kind of use these as two different visuals. That way you can also see the amount, but also look at how much the actual numbers are on there. So talking about the block speed at first, the Piper M600 is going to be the slowest, with the Phenom 300, of course, being a lot faster but a lot more expensive. The King Air 260 does pretty good with 286, and the Pilatus is 257. As far as the estimated hours go, this is about how many hours we're going to be flying based on the same parameters, based on their speed. So it's going to take about 477 hours versus 274. Between the Piper M600 and the Phenom 300E. So just there, if we're flying, I forget what the estimated amount is that's actually on the Excel chart, but the difference between 477 and 274 is 200 hours that you're saving as a company if you were to go with the 300E versus the Piper M600. So one of those things, big things to keep in mind. The Pilatus and the King Air are just behind the Phenom 300E there. And then as far as estimated costs go, this, of course, is the big one because we're trying to minimize our costs. The Piper M600 is 6 million estimated per year. The Pilatus is 9 million. The King Air is 260, and the Phenom is 1.6 million. So big things to keep in mind there. And the estimated cost per hour, as you can see, the estimated cost per hour I think is the biggest one, and you can see that it's a pretty big jump on the chart as much as it doesn't really show it too much. The Piper M600 is only looking at about $1,390 per hour, whereas the Phenom is almost $6,000 an hour. So I mean, that's a huge jump as far as money spending goes. And for our company, we're trying to look for one that of course, we're trying to minimize costs, but we are a decently large company, so we do have some money to spend. So we're looking into the Pilatus or the King Air, kind of that in-between, where we're going to be saving money with our estimated costs, but we're also going to get there faster, and we're also going to have more storage, which is where the PC-12 rules as far as that goes, is having enough room for things. So now for our textbook integration, I chose the Functions of Management 101, and basically this one just outlines these 5 points here: planning, organizing, resource allocation, leading, and controlling. So just a little side note over here for our planning, which aircraft meets the company's needs? Obviously the biggest thing there. And then you have to do the execution part, which is what we're trying to do right now. We're trying to operate efficiently and safely. And then we're trying to get feedback on this. So reviewing the costs, figuring out what's the best utilization and the best performance data, trying to get other people's opinions and other things like that. And that way we can ensure our decisions are structured and effective. So as we're going along through this class, each different week we have different things that we're looking at for different aircraft. I've been kind of trying to choose the same ones. That way I can carry each one into the next lesson and trying to figure out which one's best for our fictitious company. And then our biblical integration, we're using Proverbs 15:22 for this one. I like this one because it says, without counsel, plans fail, but with many advisors, they succeed. And this is just talking about trying to use as many people around you as possible to help you make a good decision, rather than just using your best judgment. You want to get other people in on this and trying to get them to help you, planning and feedback and management. And as it says there, wisdom plus collaboration is stronger decision making. I think that's a very, very important statement. And then as far as the aviation application, of course, teamwork, customer service, and safe operations. And yeah, thanks for watching.